Hello, I am Denise and I am here today on my own. No Ali, I'm afraid she had an operation this week. I just need to work out which side. Yeah, we're on this side. And she's had a whole operation this week. She's doing fine and grand, but she's not up to being with us today. I'm just going to turn this down a tiny tad. Still looking up at you. So, just me, and why have I chosen this topic? Well, it's actually an interesting article has just appeared today on the Stage Voice. Experts are saying drama schools, singing, teaching, training isn't really, we need to get past just being in the popular music, lots of riffs and all that kind of thing, and go back to the legitimate understanding of music before 1960. Now, obviously, I've been teaching singing since I was 17, and I am now, 51 next week. So you can imagine, I've been around this industry for an extremely long time, and I was really interested in what I'm saying today, because it's kind of gone full circle. There was a period where actually everybody was doing legit training, everybody was really understanding how to sing the classics, the Oklahoma, and I really spent my time going, come on, we need to get up with the programme and really sort of learn how to sing in the more modern styles as well. Now, what became really interesting with that is that there's some things that I think now people in the 21st century, it's so much has changed over the years, it's unbelievable. It's been a fantastic time, really fantastic time to be in the singing and vocal industries, because we've learned so much along the way. We've learned about vocal anatomy, we've learned about all of the wonderful things that Jo Still brought to the understanding of voice, and we will be forever in her debt. She didn't expect us to be teaching it by rote and by numbers, but she did know that she really thought that we needed to understand more about how we made. She broke down how we could make the different sounds. I am in awe of the people who I see at my local, which is the Playhouse in Edinburgh, and how many people are singing with fantastic technique in all styles. Hello Ali Bell, in all styles, and how fantastic it is to see people singing so safely and so incredibly well. But now we're in a different part of our development, and I just wanted to bring a few thoughts that had come up for me today from everything that has been going on in the article that I saw in the Stage. So I think it's really important that people understand by 18 years old, by whatever age it is that you go into the drama school or the musical theatre school, the classical singing school, that actually you are in charge of your own music development, your own destiny, really. So if you go in and you just expect to be spoon-fed everything, that really isn't how it happens by the time you are actually looking towards professional industry standards. You need to get really keen yourself on how you want to progress. So go and watch everything. Listen to because I needed to understand how to make these sounds. I don't know how to make these sounds in my own voice. So I spent ages trying to work out the different things with my ear, listening to stuff, reading stuff. There is so much stuff on the internet now about how to really get good understanding of voice. So if you're interested in really understanding voice a lot better, then go to places that are really sound on their information. So look into the style that it is that you're working in and who is the biggest person that you know that is teaching in that area. Always go back to sound anatomy. The 21st century we have it. We'll put up a little thing that shows you all about the voice and how it works inside that I got from my friend Matthew. And also think about how you need to know how your instrument works, but you also need to know how you want to work as a person. So it's your adult responsibility to start looking behind the scenes and finding out stuff. Now, This is a mutual relationship, a psychological terms, which is our Noble House specialism. It's a mutual relationship. You're in power differentiated roles, but you are in it together. If you feel infantilized, i.e. that you're always going to just be a kid, then you really need to start thinking about how you want to present yourself in that relationship. You are two adults in separate, different, power differentiated roles. Nobody is, otherwise we set up a parent-child relationship if you're going to get transactional analysis about it, and actually that can be really detrimental to growth of an individual person. So that was one of the things that seemed really important to say. You're an adult, your body, your training, your understanding, make sure that you are on board with the terms and conditions, the ethical framework and the responsibilities that you have within going into training. This is first of all for the singers, then I'm going to come to the teachers in a second. Then we have, what are you going for? Are you going because you want to be an industry professional? Are you going because you want personal development work, you want fun, or you're going to have your own drama school or your own school one day in teaching? Make sure that you link up with the right school for you that's offering the right kind of training, because to be a mismatch can be very, very difficult if they're always trying to make you an industry professional but you always wanted to be a teacher, and vice versa if you want to be a professional but actually it comes across as being a teacher. So make sure that you know, thanks my dear Ali, hope you're feeling better really soon. So that's one or a few of the things that came up straight away. I think it's important to note that the person in that article, and who's a casting director, said that she could always find really good, legit singers these days. I also spoke to an agent who says people are going between things in the industry now. There's much less separation. You can be in a musical one day and do something that's backing vocals for an artist another day. So I think there's so much diversity out there if you have a really good mind and voice to take on board lots of different things and understand the industry and the industry requirements of the aspects that you are in or want to go into, because each one is a completely different circuit and industry. I also think that it feels important to me to talk about the teachers. I think teachers get exhausted. I think that it's so much to take in, so much to learn over a long period of time, and that we have huge workloads to withstand. I don't know what it's like now in the industry of learning, because I have my own setup here and teach in a very different way based on my PhD. The psychology of vocal performance, singer's psyche for singers. You can find it online at www.noblehouse.scot. It's free. Go and check it out under publications. It says a bit of the things that go on behind the scenes of the singer and the teacher, the educator, on a psychological basis and what they may be up against. So do go check it if it's something that's of interest for you. The other things that came up from the articles about chest voice, head voice, in these terms, these are old terms that aren't really anatomically correct. However, they're very, very familiar ones for some people who, you know, it's going to take time still for this terminology to shift and change. If you talk about head voice and chest voice, you are always going to spend your life trying to bridge the gap between the two, because you're setting up a split. And in that split, the only way to get to them is by bridging the gap between the two. You cannot take a chest voice away up here. You can take a head voice down, but no doubt you won't want that sound if you're pushing the chest voice up. Make sure that when you are with somebody who's speaking in that terminology, that you understand that that's not how it works. Yeah, and make sure that you go and check out. There's so much available on YouTube, so much available online now. Always question the training that you're getting. It doesn't mean you just have to be downright difficult, but question what's coming in at you and make a decision to go with your gut as well, and make sure you're well informed by high industry professionals. And if you're a teacher, make sure you're not just spreading the myths. So the British Voice Association is very good for catching up on all the information of the most up-to-date materials. The Association of Singing Teachers as well is really helpful to bring together understanding of what's happening right now. When it comes to the backstage stuff, the psychological stuff that you may be up against, why you're feeling tired and exhausted, why you're having students that are difficult, why you're having teachers that are difficult, all of that kind of stuff, that's our department. Ali Bell and myself both specialising in that field. So if you're a singer out there and you're struggling, if you're a teacher out there and you're struggling, if you're an educational system out there that needs an update, if there's anything we can do to help you, we're happy, really happy to do so. In fact, we're passionate about this stuff. So going swiftly on, I know I'm speaking fast, but there's so much to this stuff. It's unbelievable. You're talking about, well, as I said, nearly half a century, it feels like, of change. We've gone full circle now. They're bouncing back to now we need the legit stuff. We can all do this stuff and we can always do loads of bits. We need to go back to understanding the legit stuff. My input, my other bit that I want to add in is that's all good and well if you want to be in the theatre industry. And if you want to be a singer, doing backing vocals or singing other people's stuff, doing shows that are cover bands, covering songs, covering the huge range of styles that you're asked to do now. It's quite incredible, but if you're covering as many of these as you possibly can. If you are a vocal artist, if you are someone who is a singer-songwriter doing your own work, one of your USPs is yourself. And in that time, you may need to forget all the other styles and trainings that you've had in order to find things that are core and unique USPs for you. So it's then the other way around. So one of the things I talk about in the PhD is what kind of a singer do you want to be? And this is for the teachers too. What kind of a singer, what do they want the person who is in front of you? Because there's so much out there that to narrow it down to the fields that you actually want to work in is no bad thing. But it sounds like the one with lots and lots of notes going on, there might be quite a lot of these people right now. So where's your unique points? What can you come in as? Where can you put yourself alongside, if you're a vocal artist, singer, songwriter, the only thing you have, your unique selling point, is that it sounds like you. It's not from the outside, all these different styles coming in at you on your voice and techniques. It's you as an individual coming from the inside, your singer-songwriting coming out. Now that is quite a difference. And the requirements may be different, but the technical singing requirements are different, but so are the psychological ones. So if you find that you're always in a situation where you want to be seen and heard as yourself, but actually everybody is asking you to be other people, or can you sound like that? And the last person that was in the show, you need to be, really match up in some shape or form. You bring yourself to it, but you need to be a certain size, a certain voice quality, a certain age. All of these things are important. So if you have your sight set on being the lead in Billy Elliot, there's a possibility you may have to be a certain age and a certain gender, unless they're going to do a twist on that. So, I'm giving an extreme example to sort of make it crystal clear. When Whitney Houston first sung I Will Always Love You, nobody had ever sung like that before. It was, now that's an exaggeration. She had to, that's not probably true. I had never heard anything like that before. When Barbara Streisand sung the way she sung, and the way she recorded, I had never heard anything like that before. I could hear them coming through. So What have you got that people have not heard before? And what you have got that they haven't heard before is you. And so your voice, your real voice, your inside you coming out, very exposing, quite scary. And so actually you want to be working psychologically behind the scenes and being really grounded and really feeling that there's a whole process to go through that we've developed here at Noble House, a way of working with people who are vocal artists that need to bring themselves to a performance level. And anybody who's in the music industry, who's in that kind of contemporary music, the demands of you are different, and some are the same. So it's a complex area behind the scenes. And the more people who get really enthusiastic about learning more, the most up-to-date needs and requirements of the industry, it sounds like the better. But always look at other people who've graduated from the places that you've been. Go to their shows the years before you go. Teachers who are going in to teach. Is that the kind of music that you're interested in? Is that what you want to be doing too? So actually it has to be a real coming together of everybody to focus on each thing that comes up. If it's not really what you're into, you're not serving your industry or the people who are coming through it very well. I got sort of more specialist at more and more of the contemporary music until, there's a lot of people who could do musical theatre training a lot better than me, she says, scratching her nose. But it's true. It doesn't mean I don't understand it, but I'm interested in helping people get what's inside them out and up there with their own unique selling points. So I have nearly said as much as I need to say. For those of you who are tuning into this and going, you usually talk about psychology for everybody. Why this today? Just because it came up and it was on the desk. And also Ali not being well today gave me a chance to talk about one of my real passions and specialisms. As you can hear, I'm totally passionate about this stuff. There's something also that I would add in that on the popular music industry academic side, they also have things about, well, there was for a while, a list of tick points, your articulation, projection, that kind of thing. These might not be important, as important, to people who have a microphone here and they're recording. So each part, I bring that in to bring in the popular music trainings as I have done the other ones. Each part of the industry has a journey, a path, a dance of its own. And if they have any problems or encountering any difficulties within that, we're always here to support and help all our industry, music professionals and our performance industry professionals with whatever's going on for them, because it's such a big area, such a wide catchment, really, when you talk about it. If you're tuning in and you're not in the music industry and you're wondering what this could be doing for you, sit back, look at what you're looking for in your goals, in your life. Get the right professionals to help you, or watch the right Google things online. You're like, what's the right, what's the wrong? You'll know it when you feel it. Something that hooks you in, you're like, that's the thing for me. Trust your intuition when you're learning anything new. The relationship between the teacher and the being taught person, that the relationship with them is the thing that makes the change. So, if you are learning anything new in your life, make sure you have somebody who feels enough on your wavelength, or enough, you have enough trust and respect for, that will get you through the bad and the difficult times when you are in the process of learning and transition and change, which can feel really, really tough. I'll put something up below that gives you a link to the process of transition as we see it. It goes through a whole cycle of stuff. In order to be able to go through that psychologically, you need to be with people who you can trust and who treat you with kindness and robustness. They don't just give in to you, but they also treat you with kindness, because everybody's doing their best, right? So that is my parting gift to those of you who aren't in the performance industry but may want to learn how to learn better. You have to feel safe. You have to feel calm in order to be able to process information. So if you're frightened and you're trying to learn from a place of fear, there's a strong possibility that this maybe is something you need to look at within yourself, why you're frightened, or something you need to tackle with those who are around you, who are there in the job of helping, supporting your learning. We all learn, right, teachers? We're all learning. I wish you all the best with your learning experiences, and I'd love to hear more about how your vocal performance experience was as a learner or as a teacher. And I'll stick the process of transition below and the website www.noblehouse.scot. More psychological awareness for industry professionals coming up on our YouTube channel, which is Noble House. A to Z of performance psychology for industry professionals. Ali, I really like it better when you're here, but I've had a really good time talking today to everybody. Thanks for listening. Bye now.